Hello, I'm ready for my interview today. Hello.
Hello
Hello
there,
there,
I'm
I'm
Kruthik.
Kruthik Bhushan.
I'm
I'm
ARIA,
ARIA,
an
an
AI
AI
interviewer with
interviewer with
informatics
informatics
solutions.
solutions.
Really appreciate you making time for this conversation. I want to understand your experience a bit and see how it fits with this role. This is meant to be a conversation, not an interrogation, so be yourself. Feel free to ask me anything as we go. Ready to dive in?
Yeah, sure.
Just to make sure. You're interested in the Senior Frontend Developer role at Informatics Solutions, and you're in India. All correct?
Yeah, that's right.
How has the monsoon weather been treating you lately?
Not so good. In Bangalore, it's pretty chill and usually get sick during this monsoon season. So, yeah, not so good for me.
Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. It's definitely that time of year when everyone seems to catch something. I hope you feel much better soon. Having a good Tuesday so far, otherwise, Kruthik.
Yeah, yeah. Apart from that, the Tuesday has been good.
Glad to hear the rest of your Tuesday is going well. So before we dive into the details, could you walk me through your background and what got you interested in this opportunity?
Yeah, sure. I've been working as a front-end developer from past 4 to 5 years, and the primary technologies that I've worked on in this 4 to 5 years are React JS, Next.js, and the languages. Coming to the languages, I've worked in both TypeScript and JavaScript as well. And currently, in my in my current organization, that is Nexora Technologies. I'm working on building user interfaces for data heavy systems. I love to build tables and advanced filtering for all these data heavy web applications. Apart from building the features in my current organization, I also had the opportunity to start something from scratch when it comes to building a web application. And also apart from that, I've been doing performance optimization for the existing web applications over here in Nexora Technologies. So going forward, I'm looking for opportunity where I'll be able to apply all my knowledge and also at the same time learn and grow.
That sounds like some really solid hands on experience, especially with building those data heavy applications from scratch. Since you mentioned starting projects from the ground up, could you walk me through your experience leading the technical execution of those complex front end projects and how you've shaped the architectural direction?
Yes. Coming to that, my experience was obviously when you have to start something from scratch, right? We need to have some idea on what exactly we are building. What is the purpose of that web application? Is it that it's just a normal web page, or will it be something where we'll have to load a lot of data and we'll have to perform a lot of updates? So something like a data heavy system, or apart from that, will it just be a simple application, right, just like a form or anything? So once we discuss the requirement, then with the team members, we have a discussion on the framework, whether to choose React JS, Next.js, or other modern web technologies, web building technologies. Apart from that, at the same time, we'll also discuss on the number of users using the system. So that is again another key point. So once all of that is decided, we discuss on the designing library that we'll have to use. A few companies tend to have their own design system. Few others, they tend to use the third party design systems like Material UI and ShatCN and everything else, right? So yeah, once we decide on that, and then we have some idea on what we are building, we do connect with the design team and they give us the designs that we'll have to follow. So once that is done, backend people will parallelly work on the backend APIs, and front end can work on the front end components and structure, and finally we have one integration. So this is the general process that we follow.
That makes a lot of sense, especially aligning the tech stack and design system with the actual purpose of the app. What were some of the key design or architectural decisions you personally had to make when setting up one of these projects?
Yes. So coming back to that, if you wanted something, that is very much on the user-facing panel, right? Then probably I thought we can go with Next.js because that gives a lot of flexibility for search engine optimization and all of that thing. But the application that I built currently was kind of an admin portal that will be used by our customers who know that such a website exists. So I don't think we'll need such a requirement over here, wherein if anyone on the internet search for something related to our company, this web page should show up. It is only for our clients. So yeah, there that is the reason I tend to use React.js. And apart from that, as per the requirements and as per the features, we tend to decide on the structure and the different components. Also, apart from that, we also I think that is one step that we usually perform, whether to use Redux or the context providers. No Once that is done, that's a very important step when coming to designing a very large system, right? Real world web application. So apart from that, there are other good practices that we follow in React, like like performance optimization, like lazy loading, virtualization, and using different hooks like use memo, use callbacks as and when required as per the feature. So these are some of the good practices that I tend to follow.
Got it. It's really interesting how you weighed the SEO needs of Next.js versus React for an admin portal and how you approached state management. Speaking of performance practices like virtualization and lazy loading, how do you typically approach optimizing high traffic web applications for performance, speed, and cross browser compatibility?
Yes, so coming back to that, I mean, these days the browser engines, I mean, if you take any browser engine for that matter, are strong enough to handle all these basic requirements. But apart from that, if at all, if we come across such a requirement where it is there in one browser and it's not in the other browser, we tend to add a few polyfills wherever and whenever required. And also coming back to performance optimization, we do use the Chrome dev tools like profiling tools and the other React add-ons in Chrome, and we tend to monitor the performance, the load time, and everything else. And then we tend to use like concepts like lazy loading, code splitting, and also use memo, use callbacks. So these are a few things that we tend to use just to make sure that the user interface completely feels very smooth. And also by doing code splitting, we tend to keep the code neat and clean, I mean, to keep it very readable.
I see. Code splitting and profiling with dev tools are definitely key for keeping things smooth. Could you share a specific example of a performance bottleneck you ran into and resolved in one of your projects?
Yes, so coming back to that, one of the feature was building a Kanban board, right? So the requirement was such that we'll have around multiple lanes, and you'll be able to drag and drop the items between the lanes as per the that is the expectation of having a Kanban board. And apart from that, you also had to handle advanced filtering, as I already mentioned. So there are a few things that we did take a note over here. I mean, if you generally just use some Axios or anything, right? It's very difficult to cache the data. Caching layer is also very important when it comes to data heavy systems. So we don't have to always keep making the API calls, right? And I mean that actually disturbs the that actually worsens the user experience, and that is the reason I thought of using React SWR, which internally keeps track of cache, and then it does polling also depending on few configurations. And also for drag and drop, I tend to use the React library, React drag and drop. So that was the library that I used. So yeah, these are few key decisions that we took. And also over here there are few data that is stored in Redux, and also few in context, just to make sure that we don't do prop drilling across all the different columns, and we have all the data accessible with just one line of code in any of the lanes or columns.
Got it. Using React SWR for caching and managing state to avoid prop drilling in a complex board sounds like a great way to handle those data heavy interactions. Shifting gears a bit, can you describe your experience mentoring junior engineers and helping them improve their code quality and technical skills?
Yes, sure. Coming to a growing organization, right? That is a very important thing. I mean, at least the code review and the code quality should be maintained always. I mean, the mentoring part, depending, it usually depends on the the experience that the new developer or the fresher comes in. I mean, if it's someone who is completely new to React and who doesn't who just have some basic knowledge, right? What I tend to do is I usually give him a KT and walkthrough of our existing file structure, component structure, and everything else. And I also probably, at least for the first two features or something, until he gets used to our system and learns things, right? Probably I will develop the boilerplate template kind of thing, so that you'll just have to fill in the functions, the actual design and everything, actual the code and everything into this boilerplate template. So apart from that, yeah, the probably this way he also tends to learn things and also keep up with the existing structure and the components that we have, and also the good practices. So he tends to learn the good practices that we follow in React. Apart from that, if he is someone who is already having some experience in React, right, probably what I would like to do is I would give him the requirement and the documentation and everything, and expect him to come up with an implementation plan. And once he comes up with an implementation plan, we tend to connect and then discuss over the plan. And if there are any changes required, probably we'll have a discussion, healthy conversation, and healthy discussion, and tend to change things as per the requirements. If everything go I mean if we are satisfied on all the requirements that we have agreed, and if plan looks good, then I mean he will go ahead and do the implementation part. And obviously at the end, I do the code review, and then we can push the changes to develop our production.
That's a really thoughtful approach to tailoring your mentorship based on their experience level, from templates for freshers to collaborative planning for more experienced devs. How do you balance giving constructive code review feedback with encouraging team collaboration and keeping morale high?
Obviously, I mean, we can't, straight away, expect, people to know everything, right? Especially for freshers and everything. I tend to make sure, I tend to add my comments in such a way that it really doesn't, I mean, make them feel bad or something. I mean, it'll be a very constructive feedback, wherein it'll be something like, I mean, I would give them a feedback at the same point. At the same time, I would also, let them know that this is the reason behind why we have added a comment over there, and also, I mean, if he wants more clarification, probably we can have a meeting and then discuss and then go through it together.
That's a wonderful way to build trust and keep it a learning experience. How do you typically collaborate with UX/UI designers and backend engineers to ensure seamless product delivery from wireframe to production?
Yes. Uh, Regarding that, I think it usually depends on the feature that we are trying to build, right? If it is something that a very known feature, and we just are making few changes, then it would be very direct, wherein the product team would reach out to us and explain the requirement, and we would do it. But if it's a very complex feature that we have to build, then probably we'll have more than one or two meetings with the product team. The initial meeting would be more like discussing the requirements. Once that is done, we the team of developers, right, we tend to connect between the team, and then discuss the feasibility, and whether such a feature whether we can handle such a feature in the existing architecture or not. Depending on that, we tend to give the timeline as well. And once we have clear requirements from the product team, as per the responsibilities of the developers, I mean, their role specific responsibilities, like front end developer does the UI job and building user interfaces, and back end developer does the job of building the APIs, the response structure, and all of that. Obviously, there will be some collaboration between the front end and the back end team members also required over here, just to agree upon the number of APIs, the structure, and the endpoint and everything. So once that is done and things are built, we tend to do a integration testing, and if everything goes good, then we hand it over to the product team.
It sounds like you have a really solid collaborative process in place to bridge the gap between design, back end, and front end. Looking back at your background, I noticed that you spent less than a year at one of your previous employers. Could you walk me through the circumstances surrounding that transition?
Yeah, the reason behind that was it was more of a agreed agreement between me and the organization, where the requirement itself was for less than a year. So the agreement was such that I was responsible for building a few features, and once that development or that feature is completely out in production, that concludes the agreement between me and the organization. So as per the plan, or as per the agreement, I was able to deliver the feature within a year, and so did my agreement end over there.
That makes total sense. A project based agreement is a very natural reason for a shorter tenure. Thanks for clarifying that. What is your earliest available start date for a new role, considering your current employment?
I mean, I would be able to. My notice period is around over 2 months. But if I'm given an opportunity at Informatic Solutions, probably I'll be able to negotiate with my current organization and probably bring it down to over a month, the notice period. So probably I should be available in over a month.
Got it. So, about a month if you're able to negotiate, otherwise, the standard 2 months. That's helpful to know. I really appreciate your time today. Kruthik. Before we wrap up, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I would like to know the company culture and also the working model over here. Is it remote or work from office, or I mean hybrid?
Let me pull that up for you. That's a great question. At Informatics Solutions, we embrace a remote first work environment through our open work model, which is designed to help our teams thrive and drive impact from wherever they are based. For this senior front end developer role specifically, we also offer flexible working hours along with hybrid work arrangements to support your lifestyle. As for our culture, we really thrive on innovation, collaboration, and a strong commitment to technical excellence across our entire engineering team. It's a very supportive environment where we encourage learning and growth. Does that give you a good feel for how we work?
Yeah, yeah. I've got a proper clarity on that. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Do you have any other questions for me today?
No.
Perfect. Well, our team will review everything and get back to you within 2 to 3 business days. Thanks again for your time, Kruthik, and I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful rest of your